Hi, everybody, and welcome again to this beautiful webinar. You know, I'm going to be 75 years old next week, and I'll tell you something. I've never been so excited in all my life. You know, the sharing of these ideas with you is just immensely gratifying, and I hope that you have if you have any questions or anything, you know how to reach me at my email. All right, so what I need you to do is I need you to try to stay on till the end because I'm going to have John Davern on again because many of you have emailed me about the virtual assistant concept and how that could help you. But we also have a questioning section where you can type in a question if you have it. And at the end of the webinar, we're going to go over the questions with you. By the way, soon after this webinar, you're going to get a link so you can listen to it in your leisure so that you don't have to go crazy trying to write things down right away. I know what it feels like. But the screen for virtual assistants can really help you at the end when I introduce John. And it'll be worth your while to stay on for the whole thing. But I just want to say something to you now. The three things that I'm going to show you is just working like crazy. Everybody that I've talked to have emailed me and everything. Everybody has just been so excited about it because it's all about prospecting. Without prospects, there's no way you can have a door open to create the relationship building process that is so critical in building your downline fast. And in network marketing, that's the whole name of the game. So keep this in mind, and again, try to keep all this stuff to yourself. You don't want your upline to know about this. You can share it with your downline, but your upline, you don't want to share it with them because then they're going to share it with everybody under the sun, and when too many people are doing a good thing, it kind of destroys it. But anyway, what I'm going to go over with you is the three key strategies to create an additional 20 new prospects per month just using LinkedIn. Before I do, as usual, I go over a little bit about my bio. When you get the link, you can pause it at this point and read everything that I have on here, and soon it'll be there like crazy. But one of the reasons why I think LinkedIn is a goldmine for prospecting is because people use LinkedIn to maintain professional identity, make useful contacts, search for opportunities, and stay in touch. Do you know that 4 out of 5 LinkedIn members drive business decisions? That's 80% of individuals on LinkedIn are the decision makers. And 39% of the members are senior level executives or above. But 28% of members are responsible for managing budgets, which I find to be fascinating because they could add whatever services you have into their budget. But LinkedIn members are active, they're very influential professionals, and they're in a business frame of mind. They use LinkedIn to learn about new products and services and to keep up with industry trends. And they network with peers and they conduct business, and it's a whole bunch of stuff that is fascinating in building those relationships. But anyway, LinkedIn reaches a unique audience. 83% of LinkedIn users don't visit Pinterest. 59% do not visit Google. 58% they don't visit Twitter. And 13% of LinkedIn users don't visit Facebook. I find that to be fascinating. But LinkedIn is a powerful network of over 400 million professionals who are also consumers. And recent studies show LinkedIn members have the highest buying power compared to other social networks. So it's the way you present yourself to the connection request and all that I'm going to be showing you when a person responds to you by showing them how they're going to benefit by what you do. But understanding your connections and effect on your ability to communicate in LinkedIn, you got 3 different degrees of individuals. First degree, these are people you're directly connected to, where you've got their where you can communicate with them because you could go right into their profile and get their email address and phone numbers. And then the second degree and third degree people are the ones that you're going to want to get to accept your connection request to become your first level on LinkedIn. But here's some key strategies to help convert LinkedIn connections into prospects. You want to optimize your LinkedIn profile. You want to have that headline that grabs an individual as soon as they come on and they visit your profile. You got a quick summary, which is the elevator pitch that I've given most of you. You got the contact info, the experience and job description. So you want to go over, we're going to be going over again. LinkedIn has changed a lot of the way they present their new layout or what have you. So we're going to be doing in the future another connection webinar to bring you up to date on the new way that they're doing it. But you can build your first level connection, join LinkedIn groups, and create your own LinkedIn group, which is fascinating to me because you can keep your profile alive and engaging all the time. And there's some additional techniques that I want to show you. The first one is endorsements. In a previous webinar, we covered how to connect with others in LinkedIn. And I'm going to redo another webinar shortly on that, probably within the next 2 months. But once someone accepts your connection request on LinkedIn, we send them a connection acceptance thank you message in which you thank them for connecting with you. And I covered that again in a previous webinar. Now, as the next step, you should now endorse your connections. Now, to access your connections, what you do is you click on the top of your page, My Network, and then click on Connections, See All. All right? Now what you do is, under the Sort By, select Recently Added on the top. All right, this is typically already selected by default, and it'll display all your connections sorted by the most recently added. Then click on a connection's name to bring up their profile. Now, your new connections profile page will then appear, and you'll need to scroll down to get to their featured skills and endorsement section. This is where the plus things are, and also featured skills and endorsement, the check mark. All right? So anyway, you'll see the skills for which you're going to endorse them. You just click on the View More to see additional choices. All right? You see down below it says View 26 More? And all you do is click on the plus signs on one or more skills to endorse them. The plus sign will now change to a check mark, which will indicate that you have endorsed them. You then want to repeat this process with the rest of your recently added connections. So you click on My Network at the top again to return to your network, and then under Connections and under See All, connect on that, and then you click on a nickname which is marked as Zilwing. And when that comes up, you just do the process of clicking on the plus marks for the endorsements. Now, the connections you endorse, they will receive a notification from LinkedIn. This is the critical part, that they've been endorsed by you. Notification indicator will have the number of new notifications. Do you see on the very top when you go in? For anybody that's endorsed you, that has responded back to your endorsement, that's where the notification is going to come into. All right, so you click on the notification. All right, and again, the whole key thing here is that a large number of connections you endorse will send you a thank you for the endorsement. They'll just click on simply the Say Thanks icon, which will send you a thank you message. Now, the critical part of doing this, and the reason for doing this, is that this now opens up the door for you to additionally communicate with that individual to build a relationship and for further prospecting. That's very, very important and critical. All right, so you're going to get a message back, thanks for endorsing me for payroll or whatever the endorsement is. Now what you want to do is put together the endorsement message. Now you can pause this right here when you get the link and just write it down, all right? But in your top level menu, you'll see a notification of a new message on the messaging icon. You click on messaging to see the person's thank you message in response to your endorsement. You click on their message, then type a message or copy and paste the message. That's what I teach all of you to do. So just have a Word document where you type in, the endorsement was my pleasure. The greatest endorsement I can give you would be a referral. Please let me know who your ideal referral would be. Or you could add on there, the endorsement was my pleasure. Please tell me a little bit about yourself so that I might be able to help you in some way. So you can copy whatever message that you feel is critical and important. So you want to copy and paste it down the bottom. All right? When you pull up their message, you copy and paste it down the bottom and then just send it off. Endorsements can be seen on the profile page by scrolling down to the feature skills and endorsements sections of the profile. All right, you click on me and you look under view profile. You can click any of your listed skills to see who has endorsed you for that skill. You could also add a new skill to give others additional skills. You can do up to 50 of them, by the way, for which they can endorse you. So if you click on see all, this is what's going to happen, and all your endorsements will be visible to you. And you can slide a button from the top to the left to make a particular person not visible. I have never done that because all mine have been positive. So you know that's very important that you look at it in that viewpoint. All right. Now the next thing I want to show you is another technique. It's called the birthday message. What you want to do is you go under notification. All right, click on notifications, and it'll show you the notifications of anybody in your network who has started a new position, is having a work anniversary, milestone, is having a birthday, or if they liked one of your postings, or they commented on your group conversations. In this case, we want to message those with upcoming birthdays. If multiple connections are having a birthday on the same day, click on see who's celebrating for individuals. See on the left-hand side, see who's celebrating, and then you're going to see the two individuals that day that are celebrating a birthday. So you want to click on say happy birthday. All right? So you click on say happy birthday. Let's say it was Liz. All right? And you could either send her a generic by default one, say happy birthday, or I have put together my own. I would like to wish you a happy birthday. The greatest birthday gift I can give you would be a referral. Please let me know who your ideal referral would be. All right, now, you could also change that. I would like to wish you a happy birthday. Please tell me a little bit about yourself so that I might be able to help you in some way. So you can leave it that way if you want. I like the referral one because most individuals are on LinkedIn for one reason and one reason only, and that's to get referrals. Then you click the send. So you copy and paste the message, and you click the send box. And after you click the happy birthday, that's when you start to build a relationship with them. Most of the time, you'll get a message from them telling you who their ideal referral would be or telling you a little bit about themselves. You now can send them a message telling them that when you see someone like that, you will refer them to them. Or you can go to their profile and under the contact and personal info, click show more to see their contact info. You can get their phone number. And you give them a call and say, thanks for letting me know who your ideal referral is. Why don't we get together for a cup of coffee and I can find who else would be an ideal referral for you. Again, pause it when you come to this slide, when you get the copy, pause it, and then just copy it. Okay, now I want to go over the last figure, which is the congrats message. Again, it's just like the birthday one. You go into notifications, all right? You scroll down to find any notifications indicating the person started a new position or is celebrating an anniversary at an existing company. Those notifications, by the way, will say congrats below the notification. So you click on the right-hand side, Elizabeth Blair, say congrats. Then the generic one is congrats on a new job. They get so many of them back like that, that when you do a personalized, your own message, it's going to jump out at them and they're going to want to respond to you. So again, pause it, write this down in a Word document, and then just have it there so that when you're ready to do this, you just copy and then you paste the message. Okay, with these additional 3 items, the endorsements, birthday and congratulation message, I always get over a 44% response rate. On average, my subscribers tell me they get on average of 20 new prospects per month just doing these 3 things. So there's no reason in the world why you shouldn't do them. You know, again, I'm going to tell you, everybody is on LinkedIn for one reason only, to get referrals. Remember, it's all about building relationships. My whole concept, the reason I was so successful and the reason I created over 6 million clients was because I did a prospecting feature, and then what I did was to build relationships with them. Now, in the future, you're going to have many, many products that are going to be available to you. I just decided that I'm going to be creating a platform where every 3 months I'll be putting together another book that'll give you ideas, more and more ideas on creating customers, things I can't do webinars on because they're so extensive. But remember all the time, whatever I create, it's all about helping you to build a relationship with a prospect. With the messages that I give you, we've just opened the door for them to bond with us again. So here's some important tips. You're better off making sales than doing the techniques and tasks mentioned in the last webinars that I've gone over with you. You know, doing the connection messages, the meetup, the welcome messages, and now the endorsement, birthdays, and congrat messages. You know, you want to really hire a virtual assistant to do this for you because your time is well worthwhile. I would do it myself so that you see the results you're getting. And when you see the results you're getting, then you know you can afford to hire a virtual assistant to do this for you. A VA spending a few hours a day, send LinkedIn connection messages, do the meetup welcome messages that I've went over with you, the LinkedIn endorsements, birthdays, and congrat messages, just 1 hour a day, and they can also set up appointments for you. But there's many, many benefits of using LinkedIn. It's an inexpensive way of building your pipeline and building your community. More prospective clients by joining groups and sending new connections. It's a systematic way of doing lead generation and increases in referrals from your new connections. Now, one of the key critical things being in network marketing is you don't have to, if you were a local business, then the only LinkedIn groups you can belong to are LinkedIn groups that are local to you. Being in network marketing, you could belong to groups that are all over the world. But according to my subscribers, they're getting up to 44% response rate just on the 3 messages that I've gone over with you. The endorsements, birthdays, and congratulations. For example, if you sent out 100 messages per month, you'll get up to 44 prospects to present your product and service to and tell them how they could benefit by your doing business with you. But ask yourself the question, what would it be worth to you to receive a step-by-step instructions on how to get an avalanche of new clients from someone like myself who has created over 6 million customers? Again, I'm going to be letting everybody know the new format that I'm going to be creating for delivering training content to everybody that's in my subscribers. And it's got to be up to you to see if you want to use it to create more customers. I will guarantee you that every single item I create every 3 months will give you more and more ideas. And again, you have to receive information in different formats because there's no possible way I could do everything in a webinar format. All right, but I'm going to be launching within the next couple of months, and all I want you to do is email me at kenpbg@AOL, indicating that you'd like to be one of the first to be notified of my upcoming launch of new delivery platform for training materials and content. I'll be doing continued free webinars on marketing and business building techniques, topics, and how to create more customers. But this new format will give you books to read and you implement the strategies. Every one of the things I create is to give you more ideas on creating customers and growing your business. And it's easy to implement. You might think everything I'm going over with you, you might be overwhelmed right now, but you need a virtual assistant to help you generate prospects without you having to spend all the time doing it. VAs create prospects for you to present your products and services to. I use a virtual assistant talent, the company, for many years now, and I found them to be very useful. In fact, I was just telling John the other day that every month I look at the results of what I bring in versus what the cost was. And last month I found that I got a 327% response rate, return on investment rather, for what it cost me. Can you imagine that for every dollar I invested in virtual assistant talent, I got 327 back? You could do the same. All right, the VAs can help you grow your network by helping you create and optimize your LinkedIn profile so that when somebody searches for a certain item, your link comes up. They could send your connection messages. They could search for and join LinkedIn groups where your prospects are. They could post interesting articles to the groups and on your status. They can set appointments for you and manage your calendar. They can create and send out your newsletter. They can manage your contacts and email marketing. I mean, a list could go on and on and on, but these are the ones that I use them for, and it's just fascinating. But they can increase your website traffic and search ranking and much, much more. VAs create prospects for you to present your product and services to. I'm going to turn it over to John Davern now, and he'll go over what he could do to help you with virtual assistant talent. And I'd like you to take over from now, John. So everybody, welcome John.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ken. It's a pleasure to be on the call today with everybody. And I've been working with under Ken's training programs for probably 3 to 4 years as well. And one of the key benefits in working with Ken is learning different techniques that can be successful. And LinkedIn has been one of the techniques that consistently has delivered for me and my business for the last 4 years. And techniques that we've learned using LinkedIn are still working for me to this day. I just met with my team last week, and we look at lead generation sources, and LinkedIn continues to deliver customers for our business. So a little bit about my background. I live here in Silicon Valley, and I've got 20 years experience in human resources, working at the corporate level, hiring and training and managing thousands of employees on the corporate side. But then also I started this virtual assistant business, and so I've experienced training, hiring, and managing hundreds of virtual assistants. Now, in terms of being a network marketer, I was involved in network marketing. I was a network marketer some years ago, and one of the key things that I did as a network marketer that you can apply and do for your business, and it's gotten so easy with social media to reach out to people within your community and beyond your community, nationwide, worldwide, depending on the product or service that you're offering as a network marketer. one of the things that I initially did is I had a repetitive process of posting ads to Craigslist, repetitively posting ads to Craigslist, inviting people to our business opportunity presentation that we had every Saturday. And this was something that I initially did. It was a time-consuming activity. I did it very regularly, announcing the business opportunity presentation. That activity then was something that I could outsource to the virtual assistant. So instead of me having to go into Craigslist every day that we're going to have a business opportunity, the VA could do that. I also applied that concept in recruiting my downline. So another thing that I had the virtual assistant do is, from a network marketing standpoint, is to create a landing page. So now when we posted ads to Craigslist, we now are not just posting invites to the business opportunity presentation, but also a lead generation page where they could find out more information and directing them to that page. So here in Silicon Valley, things are pretty expensive. If you were to hire a web designer, web designers can run up to $100 an hour, maybe even more than that. And our price point, when I use a virtual assistant, I'm connected to virtual assistants in the Philippines. That's what my business is all about. It costs me, it costs around $11 per hour, so significantly less. But we've used that. I've applied this technique to landing pages, and that's really helped me to build a downline. I had a downline where most of the people in my network marketing group were recruiting locally. I actually recruited a downline of 30 some plus people, and then it grew to about 60 plus people. And then another technique that I did was I posted jobs throughout the country on Craigslist and built a list of, in a very short period of time, I built a list and had over 500 some people express interest in joining my network marketing group. Now things have gotten so much easier because we've got meetup.com, we've got LinkedIn, and there's so many other ways to reach out to people. But one of the things that I do today is I work with business owners to help them grow their business, to improve their quality of life and grow their business without them having to put all their own time into it. And if you look at the technique that we showed you today, it's basically, and this kind of goes back to my background with Toyota, working for a Toyota General Motors joint venture. One of the first things that we did in our jobs as a business owner is any type of task that we had to do, we created a standardized work for that task, meaning we step by step laid out specifically what it took to complete that task, whether it was a daily task, a weekly task, a monthly task, and we laid that information and that standardized work process out. And so you as a business owner, there's so many different things that you do in your business as far as growing your business, growing your revenue. If you take a look at those things, what are things that it's absolutely necessary for you to do to focus on, and what's the best use of your time, and what are other things that you could hire somebody to do? And that's really all about when I talk to people about hiring a virtual assistant, is taking a look at what work needs to be done to run your business, what work needs to be done to grow your business, and can it be done remotely or virtually, and everything is all related to helping you save time and money. Now, mapping out standardized work practices, the techniques that we've shown today, this is a case where we've actually mapped out and said, hey, here's a technique that consistently works for us and that you can do for your business, and then it's up to you to kind of decide, well, do I want to do this myself, or do I want to have somebody else do that for me? Now, virtual assistant talent, I started this company in 2009. It actually, the root of this business, it actually started out with me getting involved in real estate investing. And when I was involved in real estate investing, I attended a seminar, and that introduced me to the concept of having a virtual assistant help out with lead generation activities related to real estate investing. And so I hired my first Virtual Assistant, and that was how I was able to do some of my first real estate deals, was by hiring a VA to post ads to Craigslist indicating, hey, I'm interested in buying properties, and checking out seller postings, and that's how I was able to get my first few real estate deals. And that kind of evolved into people asking me, hey, we would like to get a virtual assistant too to help us to generate leads for our business. So as Ken mentioned before, virtual assistants can do all different things to help support your business, whether it's digital marketing, SEO, which is creating organic traffic to your website, writing content, managing your newsletter. We've had network marketers hire virtual assistants to do recruitment. So building downline activities, whether it's by posting ads, connecting with people in LinkedIn that you want to recruit. We've had them posting ads to career builders, searching resumes, sending emails out to people to generate interest in people joining your downline. So those are different ways that you can utilize a virtual assistant. If you want to find out more about that, you can go to the website virtualassistanttalent.com, and we can kind of customize, based on what type of network marketing business that you have and what product or service are you having, have a virtual assistant to help you with growing that business. Now, there's so many different tools within LinkedIn in terms of finding your target niche, whether it's finding people that you want to recruit for your downline, or if it's trying to find people to market your product or service. LinkedIn is such a good tool because you can join groups that are going to have prospects for your product or service, and you can join groups that are going to have people that might be excellent people to promote your product or service as being part of your downline, and that's one thing that you can do, is join groups related to that. Another thing that you can do is by putting content out there that shows you that you're an expert in your industry or field or whatever product or service that you're marketing, and LinkedIn is a good format for that. You can also do that through other social media, and also by putting out blog postings, building your brand and showing that you're an expert in that field for promoting that particular product or service. All these different activities that you can do in growing your business, these are things that you can determine what do you want to do on your own, and what types of things do you want to outsource to somebody else. And I found that hiring a virtual assistant could be one of the best ways of doing that, to build that work-life balance, to have more time with your family, to wake up and have leads in your inbox. We talked about these 3 different techniques on the call today, and these are things that I've had my VA go into my LinkedIn account and to help generate prospects for us, and that's been consistently done for the last 3 or 4 years, and it still works. Now, we refined it. There's the new LinkedIn platform that came out. They started implementing that November timeframe, and it's been in phases, but that's kind of changed the way that we've had to use LinkedIn, and we've tweaked it, and that's kind of one of the points of our webinars, is keeping everyone informed as LinkedIn changes, how to leverage LinkedIn and the new tools and ways of navigating through it. But I've found that using a virtual assistant can really help grow that business exponentially, because there's only so much time in the day. There's only so many things that you can do. Yes, many of these things, you're the best person to do it, but you don't have the time to do everything. So it's making choices. What do I absolutely have to do, and what can I outsource to somebody to do? And you can only be an expert in certain things. I went back to school, as an example, to learn web design. And but this is years after I had been working in human resources. Now, am I going to be the best web designer just because I went back to school and I learned how to do it? No, there's people out there that are a lot better than me that have been doing it for years, and you don't have to do everything on your own. And there's other people that can be experts in something that can actually do certain things better than you might be able to do. So that's why I have a web designer, Mark. He does all my web design, even though my first couple websites, I did those on my own. So I talked about standardizing work, and you can standardize work for all your different business activities and seeing what activities do you have to do to run your business, whether it's maybe answering your phone throughout the day. Is that something that you want to do, or do you want to have somebody else answer the phone for you? The LinkedIn task today, is that something that you want to do, or do you want to outsource that to somebody? Now, this particular activity, the virtual assistant activity of doing endorsements, birthday and congrats messages, as Ken mentioned, this is something you can try it out on your own. And then if it's working well for you, then this is a repetitive task that you can have a virtual assistant do for you. So we created a package just like you would create a standardized work for something for your business. This is a standardized work that can be applied to many business models where you go into the LinkedIn account and endorse your new connections. You check your account for messages from your connections who thanked you for the endorsement, and you reply back to them using the custom endorsement message. You then check your account for connection birthdays and send out custom birthday message, which we showed on the call. Checking your account for the connection events such as new jobs and anniversaries, and send the custom congrats message. So this is a repetitive activity that you can do. It takes approximately 1 to 2 hours a week, depending on how many activities are happening. And then going into the account, looking for positive responses and following up with those who've replied back positively to you in response to those messages that you're sending. So this is something that you can do. It'd probably take you 1 to 2 hours a week, but it's also something that you could outsource and have a VA to do for you. And so this is a package that we're offering for the VA to do on a weekly basis for you. And if you want them to do that for you, we have VAs that are trained in this process and can do that. It costs $10 weekly, $20 biweekly, or $40 monthly is the program that we created. And to learn more about this program, you can go to virtualassistanttalent.com/LinkedIn, and there's a endorsement, birthday, and congrats message add-on package that you can get for that. So again, virtualassistanttalent.com/LinkedIn. We've done some other webinars before, Ken and I, on LinkedIn, and one of the things with a LinkedIn account is the more connections that you have, the more birthday messages that you're going to be able to send out, the more congrats messages that you're going to be able to send out. So you want to build your LinkedIn network. And if you don't have a large LinkedIn network yet, this is something also that we've done a previous webinar training on, of how to grow your LinkedIn connections, how to join LinkedIn groups, and we created a standardized work for that as well, and it's called the VA Done For You Starter Package for LinkedIn. This is something, again, that you can do, and here's kind of a basics of the technique, which is, firstly, the VA can go in to help set up your LinkedIn account. Take a look at the LinkedIn account and make sure that your profile is complete, that it's optimized, so that when people are searching for somebody like you, that your profile is going to come up, that it clearly delivers your message of who you are, what your brand is, what your skill set is. And so that's one of the first things that the VA does, is work with you on optimizing that profile. Then the daily activity, 5 days a week, would be to join 2 LinkedIn groups per day containing your potential clients. And so these, if you're in network marketing, it could be people that you're interested in recruiting, and it can also be people that are, let's say, if you're in the financial services, that you're joining the financial services group. If you're in insurance, you're joining insurance groups. There's also tons and tons of groups related to network marketing that could be good people for you to recruit some top performers and get them involved in your particular business. So on a weekly basis, the VA is going to join 10 groups, and potentially over time up to the LinkedIn maximum, and then monitor and replace the groups as needed. So Some groups in LinkedIn become stagnant. There's not much activity. There's not many people joining it. So you want to be in a group that there's a lot of people joining it. So then you can send connection messages to the members of those groups, sending up to, in this case, we want to limit it because we don't want to be considered as spamming and people can complain about messages. We send 25 connection messages per day, 125 connection messages per week. And so can you imagine over time how many connections that you're going to build for that, how many opportunities that is to present your messages, your sales message to, or your recruitment message to. And then the VA is going to monitor and notify you of positive responses to message for follow-up action. And then you can follow up with them, or in some cases, depending on your business model, you can even have the virtual assistant forward and follow up with those responses. So I talked about this a little bit, touched on this a little bit before in terms of assessing what things you should be doing personally and what things you should be outsourcing, and how much is your time worth versus hiring somebody else. And so if you look at kind of on average, you know, for small business owners, average small business owners earning $59,000 a year, which is like $28 an hour. If they were to do the particular LinkedIn task, they themselves, how much is that time worth? Well, $142 or $569 a month. If you were to hire somebody locally to go in and do this type of task, if it's a marketing person, typically marketing people make $16.91 per hour on average just for a marketing level assistant. Or if you have a local admin assistant, average pay rate for them is around $14.85 per hour. So this would kind of be the monthly cost if you had somebody who goes into the account and manages the LinkedIn activity. This is kind of what it would cost you. So I look at this for everything that I do is what things do I want to be doing versus hiring somebody else. And it's, if you want to do kind of check on that, if you're ever hiring somebody, you can check palescale.com, which shows you how much to pay people. Or you can check Bureau of Labor statistics as well. So with the LinkedIn task that I just showed you, which is the more involved task of building your connections and joining LinkedIn groups, you know, that's something that can take an hour per day to do that, or you know, 5 hours, 5+ hours per week, depending on how much time you want to spend on that. So it's not, even though, you know, in terms of comparing apples to apples, if you were to hire an admin assistant, because I mentioned I'm here in Silicon Valley, and I've hired lots and lots of admin assistants, and if you're hiring an admin assistant at $14, $15 an hour, typically the admin assistant does not have a whole lot of expertise or knowledge about LinkedIn. And so one of the things about our virtual assistants is they've typically been in management, high-level management roles, mid-level management roles for companies in the Philippines, and they simply want to work from home. And so they've got a lot of outstanding expertise, whether it's, you know, they have a college degree typically, they've managed people in many cases, and they know these techniques like the back of their hand. Excuse me. So this is, you know, with the LinkedIn starter package, this is the more involved activity. We created a package for that, and that's being offered for $44 a week. There's 3 different payment options: weekly, monthly, and bi-weekly packages, and we're offering a discount if you sign up by the end of the month and you purchase this. It's Ken 5 for the weekly promo, Ken 10 for bi-weekly, and Ken 20 for the monthly promo. So for $176 per month, you can have a VA to go in your account, optimize it, and do this repetitive activity of strategic connections, strategic joining of groups, and messaging. So if you're interested in that, you go to the same link that we showed before, which is the virtualassistanttalent.com/LinkedIn. And here's our number, 510-400-8006, if you're interested in learning more, or emailing us. There's so many different things that VAs can do for you. So we're not specifically limited to LinkedIn. We've got VAs. I bring this up because of the other webinars people have asked, well, what if I don't want a VA to just do this specific task that you showed on the call today? All this was that we brought up on the call today was we've standardized the work for this. We found that this activity works. We've trained VAs to do this, and VAs can do this for you, and here's a package for it. But all businesses are different. There's so many different things that you may want a VA to do, and so we offer VAs for really almost any type of activity, just as if you were trying to recruit somebody locally to fill a spot in your business. VAs that are non-technical, such as admin assistant, social media, to manage your social media accounts, to write blogs for you, to do research, to do presentations, to do data entry. Starting at $8.20 an hour, you can typically get a non-technical VA. And so we have custom packages for whatever might suit your budget, where you can hire a VA from anywhere from 10 to 40 hours a week, or hire multiple VAs. And just one thing about the VAs is the virtual assistants speak English fluently, type in English fluently, and Philippines is a great place to hire virtual assistants from, because they grow up learning English in school, and the VAs come with Skype calling plan and local phone number, so it's very easy to communicate with the VA. The VA can work any schedule that you need them to work, your time zone, or they could be doing work while you're sleeping. It depends on what you want to set up. We also have technical VAs that do web design and maintenance, graphics, IT programming. My websites, I've had virtual assistants do for me, and the work's been outstanding. We've had VAs create graphics for company T-shirts. We have had VAs create company logos. We've had VAs create programs as well, and it's really, in terms of the cost, you're saving, in many cases, 75% off what you might pay somebody locally. So those typically start a little bit higher bill rate, for that. So we're going to open up for questions, but if you're interested in more about virtual assistants, you can go to virtualassistanttalent.com, or give us a call at the number listed below. So we do have a discount going, though, to the end of the month. We've got a couple options. You can, if you purchase one of our minimum packages, you can get 10 hours free, or get $50 off as well, and that promo is running through the end of the month. So if you're interested in that, give us a call, and want to open it up for questions now. Ken, did you have anything you wanted to add before we answer some questions?
No, but I always have gone through my entire career and life in creating 35 businesses to always determine what my return on investment is. I mean, can you imagine if it just cost you $1 to get $5? Would you do that? Of course you would. And that's what the whole reason for VAs are there for. So every month, if it costs you $1 and you get $5 back, trust me, it's well worth the investment. Well, let's go to the questions up here. Frank has 2 of them. Do your VAs help manage all social media? John, you can answer that much better than I can.
Yeah, so the VAs do manage all types of social media. So this webinar was focused on LinkedIn, but we do have VAs that specialize and have expertise in using Facebook, using Twitter, using Pinterest. So all social media platforms, we have VAs that can do that. It's not limited to LinkedIn. And the level of what the involvement, it could be creating a Facebook paid marketing campaign. It could be creating Facebook posts. It could be building connections. It could be joining groups in Facebook, as an example. It can be building the Twitter account. So it could also be building Google Plus and even managing Google pay-per-click campaigns. So it all depends on what you want to do, and we have VAs that can help manage all kinds of social media. So good. Thanks for
And
your
I think
question.
you went over the second one already, John, Facebook.
Yes, Facebook's included, and Facebook is also one of the real major platforms, especially if you have, for example, training and coaching programs that you're marketing, or consumer B2C items. Facebook can also be an outstanding platform to market those types of products or services. So yes, I have VAs managing my own personal Facebook account, and we're doing that also for a number of clients as well.
Yeah, one of the things, John, I'd like to mention is that I get contacts, calls, emails all the time from network marketers thanking me profusely because when they were put on and desired the business opportunity, the person in their upline, all they did was tell them to make a list of people that they knew. And then after they saw all the people that they knew, they were out of business. So once they come across doing a connection request on LinkedIn, the meetup webinars that we did, and these three things, they have prospects now every month coming in consistently over and over and over and over. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, and it's when I was doing network marketing in the early 2000s, one of the LinkedIn wasn't out there when I first started doing it. I wasn't using LinkedIn. Facebook really wasn't out there as much, and one of the major platforms that I had to use was Craigslist, and I was able to build downlines in multiple states using Craigslist. But it's how things have evolved. There's so many different ways, like you just mentioned, of how people can leverage the social media to really build a worldwide network. So if there's any other questions, you can also raise your hand and we can unmute you as well if there's any other questions. I'm not seeing any more in the regular queue. Let me make one last pass or check. Okay.
Or, John, they could email me at kenpbg@aol.com, or you.
Okay. Good. Yeah, it doesn't look like there are any more questions, and we're just about out of time. So appreciate everybody for being on the call, and Ken, it was great to be on the call with you as well, and appreciate all the tips and advice that you've had for myself and my business. And again, LinkedIn, one of the techniques that we leveraged off of what you were doing for your business, and I've been using some of those same techniques, and again, they consistently still deliver for my business even after 3 or 4 years. We're still doing the LinkedIn techniques that I know that you're having your VAs use as well. So.
Right. I thank you for that, John, and I wish everybody. There's one more question that came on the bottom. Okay, you'll get an email link to this presentation so that you could watch it in your leisure. And when you come across a page, just click the pause button.
Yeah, and that's going to be
right.
coming out this weekend. We'll be getting that together, so you'll see an email early next week with the link to the presentation and the recording.
Sounds good, John. You keep well, and I hope everybody that's attending and stayed this long. Like I said, if you have any questions, give me an email.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Ken. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Did you stop broadcasting, John?